Good morning, everybody. It's a nice chilly day in May, and I am going to re-film the Wilds boundary lines, and I'm starting at Averill Road. Back on the Topsfield map of 1700, Averill Road was then known as Ridge Road. And this is at the very end of the Averill boundary line. William would have lived over in this area. And I'm going to take a walk down now, not too far, and we'll be entering the Wilds boundary lines, farm boundary. And I'm actually walking towards Meeting House Lane. And I'm on Perkins Row. So here we are at Meeting House Lane and Perkins Row, and Sarah's house would have stood right in the area where that house on the background is. And here's a little bit of that beautiful stone wall. John Reddington and Mary Reddington lived just a little bit ways down this side, but Sarah and John lived over here between Meeting House Lane on both sides. So on both sides was their property. Now I say that because one of Ephraim's son actually eventually had a house on the other side here on this part of Meeting House Lane somewhere. So I'm going to go all the way up Meeting House Lane until I come to Howlett Street. So here we are. I'm gonna take a right onto Howlett Street, and Howlett Street is a beautiful, long and winding street, and eventually when I get to the end is actually going to be where Mary Howlett, the wife of Ephraim Wilds, lived before they got married. I'm still on Howlett Street, climbing a very steep hill. As you can see, there's a highway that I'm going to cross under, and that is actually Route 1, Boston Street. And eventually, I'm actually going to be walking a little bit on Route 1 at the very end of my trip today. This is the little roadway that will lead me up to Route 1 on my way back. So I'm going to continue down Howlett Street for a little bit. Here's a beautiful stone wall, and just beyond the stone wall is actually, I believe, a part of Great Hill, which In a few minutes we'll be coming around too and show you how beautiful Great Hill is on the other side. So this is something that I have never seen before. So I'm still on Howlett Street, and I know that I'm coming very close to the end of the Wilds farm boundary lines and crossing over to the Howlett farm lines. And I just saw for the first time this beautiful stone wall. So I'm not sure if that's part of the original boundary lines between the Wilds and the Howletts. Hope you can see that. But it's pretty deep down there, and I'm afraid to go any further that I'll fall in. Alright, so I'm going to continue down the road a little bit. So now I know I'm on Howlett property because right here at the very bend in the road was near the area where the Howlett's house once stood, according to the 1700 Topsfield map. I'll show you this gorgeous stone wall. You all know I love stone walls, but it really is beautiful. You can see the water that comes through there. I'm actually gonna not trip like I almost just did and cross the street and show you this stone wall over here. That's beautiful too. And a lot of shrubbery covers it, but it's quite tall. Let's see, you can probably get a better shot of it over here. Alright, so once I round this corner, we're actually not far from the Parson Keeping House. Lots of fun things going on the commons today. Alright, so I'm coming up to Main Street. So I just took a ride on Main Street. And I'm going to continue up Main Street a little bit. And for those of you that have seen my past videos, will know that right here, entering the area where the old parsonage once stood, over probably where that tree line is over there. So I have Ipswich Road coming up to the right here, and I just want to reiterate that when I'm walking on Main Street and the first part of Ipswich Road, I'm actually not on Wild's property because the line would have gone somewhere behind these houses over there, and it's all wooded area. So we're gonna pause the video and attempt to cross Main Street to head back down Ipswich Road. And I will let you know as soon as I cross back over onto the Wilds family farm boundary lines. So here I am on Ipswich Road, and going to continue down Ipswich Road until I come to Great Hill. So here is Great Hill, and it's just absolutely stunning. This video will not do this justice. It is gorgeous. It kind of reminds me of pictures that I've seen of castle earthworks in England, especially a couple of pictures I've seen of the castle earthworks at Chipping Norton, where Sarah lived as a child before emigrating. It's just beautiful. It kind of like, it rolls. And I do know that they own part of Great Hill because of the research that I did using the Topsfield map of 1700, as well as looking at the original farm lines, which I'm going to have help deciphering with the Topsfield Historical Society. On those boundary lines, it says very clearly the hill divisions. So we know that he owned at least part of Great Hill. So I'm going to cross this road and I'm going to show you a little bit of what it looks like on the other side. And again, in case I haven't said it before, Howlett Street is on the other side of these hills. This is stunning over here too. I don't know if you can see. This is a really, like, the hill doesn't go high up, but over on the other side it goes way down, and then you probably can see the stones leading up to the next hill. So I'm still on Ipswich Road, but I just wanted to show you guys that, yes, the Wilds were kind of neighbors to my other ancestor, Francis Peabody. And so if you're going down Ipswich Road, you would take the left down North Street and then another left, and you would head right to the Peabody homestead. But if you were to continue down North Street, you could take a right into Clock Park South and go all the way in, and there's a trail down there that leads to where Francis Peabody's grist mill once stood and his sawmills. Alright, so now I'm going to head up to Route 1 and prepare for my most dangerous part of the trek, but also the coolest part for me. So I'll see you up there. Okay, I'm about to enter Route 1, but I'm going to take a little side street here. So the side street that I'm actually taking up to Route 1 is the other end of Averill Street, where I first started this video. So if I were to go up here to the Dunkin' Donuts, take a left, right behind there would have been where Francis Peabody's grist mill was, at the other end of Clock Park, and that where the Ipswich River flows. And I know that there is a body of water that flows through here. It very specifically states the name of that body of water on the 1700 Topsfield map, but I don't remember the name off the top of my head. But I believe that is the body that they are referring to. All right, and that flows all along by Route 1, as far as I can tell. But here we go. Right up here, I'm going to take this right. Oh, if I were to continue straight across, if I were to, won't dare to do it, but if I crossed over Route 1 and I could continue back to Averill Road, that would head me right back to where William Averill's house once stood. All right, so here I go. So, I don't know if you guys can actually see this, but there's all the bodies of water that came flowing through, and now over here I can clearly see stone walls going all the way up and around a little bit up the hill. And again, this is Great Hill over here, and I'm also coming up to this beautiful stone wall over here that I don't know if you can see, but there is one right over here that's kind of going east and west, and then it kind of makes a corner around and goes north and south way up over here. I think I still have some of the footage from the previous video that I shot that actually has better picture of those, that I will certainly be happy to share with you somehow. But these stone walls are just gorgeous. And right down here again, there's another body of water that's kind of flowing underneath this rocks over here. And it looks like it goes right underneath this I don't know what they call it, but like a little throughway over here. Here's the throughway. I don't think you can see it. There. But that stone wall that is still continuing to run north and south, all the way up. So I made it across, yay! One of the things that I had never noticed is once before I tried to go back down into town, I never noticed that there was a stone wall up here because I've been so busy just kind of facing forward to make it sure I get it safely across this big hill that was off to my right. So yeah, there is a stone wall that goes right back behind that brush and goes all the way down this way. So the street I'm going to take a right on is actually a no-name street, but it's going to take me right back down to, oh gosh, I forgot the name of the street. I'll let you know where I am when I get down there. Thanks. So at the end of this little no-name passageway is Howlett Street, and I'm going to take a left and go back underneath this bridge over here. Right, so I am still on Howlett Street, but now I'm heading back to the Wilds Homestead. And I'm going to take a left right here on Meeting House Lane. And while I'm walking down Meeting House Lane, I just want to thank everybody for taking the time to join me in this walk around the Wilds farm and seeing where the Howletts lived as well, and a little bit of a detour on about Francis Peabody. So it's always my joy and pleasure to share these videos with you. So please feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. Yeah, so I'll just continue down here a little ways. Thank you again, everybody.